Hey everyone, I hope you're doing well and staying safe during this time. If you're new here, welcome to the channel. Like I said, thank you so much for checking me out. If you haven't done so, please make sure to hit that subscribe button just right below the video. Cool, thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. And if you're returning, welcome back. Thanks again for your support. I truly do appreciate having you here.
This was funny. I have watched so many people talk about charts and all kinds of things since I got into crypto, and I've always said I'm not into the charts. I don't know the charts. I'm more into following the news and giving my opinion on the news based on the experiences I've had in my life and the good and the bad things I've been through, and my education and the things I've studied and read and experienced, okay? But the charts I don't really do. Part of the reason I've never been that interested in the charting is because there are so many, this industry is so young that I mean, yeah, let's say that I look at a chart and I project for you that, oh, based on these charts, it looks like Bitcoin or XRP is going to do this. Well, what if then tomorrow there's an executive order issued that changes the whole landscape for the regulatory climate for those digital assets? I mean, there's so many things because of how young the industry is that are that can change the game completely and manipulate the game. That is kind of, I understand charting when it's in a market that's very old and you've got all of those things out of the way. I understand that. Well, anyway, back to this. So I've heard all kinds of terminology in the course of listening to all the chart stuff. This is the first for this one, and I love it. The God candle for XRP is currently loading. I don't know what a God candle is, but it sounds good, and I hope we've got a God candle, and I hope it is loading. He says, rumors swirling that Putin had a thing to do with Bitcoin also came out. Russia owns a lot of crypto. Current events, possible war with Russia. Now Biden wants executive order on crypto because of national security. Makes you wonder what this executive order will say. Then this guy drops in a video below. This is, I'm drawing a blank on the guy's name. He's like I won't call him a motivational speaker, but he's kind of like that. But anyway, a long time ago, this video was going around like a couple of years ago. Listen to what he says.
And, as I said, we are going Bitcoin to it's a risky conspiracy to fuck up the American economy and the world. It's a long-range plan he started 7-8 years ago. He's going to see the demise of the Western financial world while he's still ahead of us. He's going to be there long enough.
All right. So that's just one guy. That's what one guy thinks. Now, time for some Bitcoin maxis gone wild. I don't understand why Jack Dorsey's associating himself with this, because I know both these guys are smart, which I'm totally confused by this stance that they're taking on Bitcoin. Because I said, just imagine if we only went with the first technology for the past 50 years. You could apply this to any category. Imagine that we all decided that dial-up internet, because it came first, was the internet, and nothing else could be looked at because dial-up was the trendsetter and it was the first one, and that we just couldn't do anything but dial-up. Think about how ridiculous that is. Or imagine that we said that VHS tapes, and you young people that are listening to me, you probably don't even know what this is, but back when I was a kid, we would rent movies. We would go to Blockbuster Video and we would rent these big VHS tapes that were about 8 inches long. We would stick them into this thing called a VCR, and we would play movies that way. Okay? But imagine that we had said, well, only VHSs from now on for the world, because this was the first. That's ridiculous. And that's why I can't understand what in the world these guys are talking about.
The ability to take possession of your own property or your own digital property like Bitcoin is what separates Bitcoin apart from most other digital securities and the like. But your openness to being willing to let people take self-custody is what gives the entire ecosystem a certain ethical, moral superiority against alternative investments or alternative assets. And from my point of view, it's what allows me to think out 100 years and think this has the ethical. Yes. The ethical and the moral superiority that makes it durable for a century, and I don't feel that way about other forms of digital securities or the like.
It's predictable. It's deliberate and it's predictable. I mean, Bitcoin gets a lot of knocks, especially in the mainstream media, the technology in mainstream media, versus Ethereum in terms of speed of development. Ethereum moves very, very fast in comparison. But it's a question of, what is the ultimate outcome of those moves? Bitcoin is very deliberate about what goes in and what stays out. And that does mean it's slower, but those slower things tend to last, and they tend to be a whole lot more predictable in terms of the direction they're going. They tend to be a lot more secure. They tend to have far better uptime and usability than anything else. And that's not to say that there's a ton of great ideas in the sandbox everywhere and happening in all.
Okay, that's enough of that. You get the general gist. But here's a Bitcoin maximalist that seems to has begun to get it. Just got done reading about the XRP ledger. It's hard to refute its sheer speed. Although I'm a Bitcoin maxi at heart, I think I'll have to make some room for XRP. It is ridiculously fast, and it's hard to ignore the cross-border payment use case. Then we've got this, JP Morgan, our long-term price target for Bitcoin is $150,000. XRP vet diamonds to the sky. I've got a lot of stuff, so I'm trying to go somewhat fast. So nobody else is seeing this. Let me show you all how important yesterday's XRP daily close is. Price has closed above not one, but two major year-long resistance lines. If this level holds, you're going to want to grab your popcorn. I hope he's right. As I always say with the charting, PayPal forms Crypto Advisory Council. What I would say to that is, where is PayPal Galactic? You announced it in 2013. Never said anything about it again. Jeremy Hogan has weighed in on some SEC stuff. SEC argued that prior lawsuit against crypto companies provided fair notice to Ripple. However, half the lawsuits did not involve the sale of any digital assets at all, and the other half involved companies that held ICOs. And oh yeah, the first lawsuit was in 2017. Okay, here's another two people who have left the, this is from TAIG, they've left the SEC and gone to Coinbase who was it? It wasn't Bill Hinman that went there. Katie Hawn was there. Chris Dixon was on the board there. They were both on the board. And they weren't from the SEC. But anyway, so Elad Roisman and this Thaya Knight have left the SEC and gone to Coinbase. Interesting stuff. All right, they had some hearings where they had the CFTC guy. I can't remember his name. Do they have it here? Anyway, this is the guy with the CFTC. Listen to what the Congress asks him.
Look, last question. Bitcoin smells like a commodity. It looks like a commodity. It tastes like a commodity. Is Bitcoin a commodity? Per a Eastern District of New York Federal District Court ruling in 2018, it is a commodity. Thank you. I yield back.
And then there's this.
Do you characterize cryptocurrency as a commodity, a currency, or a security, and why?
Senator, there are thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of digital assets and cryptocurrency, so I wouldn't want to identify them collectively. There are certainly a large number of coins that are commodities, including two of the biggest, which are Bitcoin and Ether. But given the vast number, there's no doubt in my mind there are also security coins. This is a big issue, and one that I think we collectively should work on as we think about a regulatory environment, if at all, is to draw very clear, distinct rules of the road of what might constitute a commodity versus what might constitute a security.
So Ethereum's a commodity according to him, but and we know that Gary Gensler has been working hand in hand with the CFTC, but Gary Gensler won't tell us if Ethereum's a commodity or not, but the CFTC guy will. So the question is, why is Congress not putting Gary Gensler's butt in the seat beside this guy and tell them to give us an answer? I mean, that's common sense.
Last question. Bitcoin.
All right, here we go. Tether's whales own more than 80% of its supply, according to researchers at Santiment. This is getting so wild. Yeah, it's getting wild, all right. How about this one? Watergate 2.0. Now, this isn't about crypto, but this is crazy. This is a congressman right here. This is a congressman. I'm not weighing in on this. For me, this doesn't have anything to do with left and right. For me, it's right and wrong. I don't care what side they're on. I don't care if they're anti-crypto and it's a conservative, then we're voting them out. Liberal, voting them out. Okay, whatever. But this caught my attention. The Capitol Police Intelligence Division investigated my office illegally, and one of my staffers caught them in the act. On November 20th, Capitol Police entered my office without my knowledge and photographed confidential legislative products protected by speech and debate clause enshrined in the Constitution, Article 1, Section 6. 2 days later, listen to this part down here. 2 days later, on November 22nd, 2021, on November 20th, Thanksgiving week, 3 intelligence officers attempted to enter my office while the House was in recess. They were, look at this, special agents dressed like construction workers. What in the world is going on in this country? What kind of crazy shenanigans are going on in this country? Alright, then we got this from the SEC. Today we propose rule changes to reduce risks in clearance and settlement of securities. including shortening standard settlement cycle transactions in securities from 2 business days after the trade date T+2 to 1 business day after the trade T+1.
I'm your guy. I will keep you posted. I'm your advocate. I'll be back on a daily basis, usually multiple times per day, with these videos to keep you updated with everything going on. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you haven't done so, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Feel free to share any of my videos with your friends, family, social media, or anybody who may care to listen. Thanks so much for your continued support. I'm always here for you. I want to help you through this time. So thank you so much for continuing to choose me. Enjoy your day, stay safe, and I'll catch you again probably in a couple hours. Thanks, everybody. See you later.